So sometimes I think people go on the internet just to say things, really just to say things when we demonstrably know that it's not doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Let's get into this one.
Are going to eat me up for saying this, but I feel like one of the most empowering things a woman can do is be a single mother. Aside from being child free and never marrying, and the woman who lives a life of leisure while she's married and still remains child free, I feel like third place definitely goes to single moms, but society loves to bash women with kids so much that y'all don't want to admit it. There is nothing like a one and done mom or a woman with two kids tops who has her own financial income, her own financial freedom, and she's thriving in life still with her autonomy.
So while we won't really argue that point because sure, right? If you can afford it, you can do it yourself. You don't have to answer to anyone else, and you're not looking to see what the outcomes are, and you can handle all of that. Right? Then absolutely, why not? And I'm sure that there's plenty of people actually making it happen, but realistically, there is a financial component about it that is stressful. There's a time component about it that is stressful. Even if you would have to have the perfect scenario, and that's exactly what we find here. People end up cherry picking specific things to make it make sense, make their argument make sense. Yes, if perfect, right? And it will be yeah. Then it's dope. Then it's awesome. But let's continue.
There's nothing like it. I don't care what y'all say. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I feel like the women who remain child free and never marry, they are definitely top place. And then second place definitely goes to the women who play the game, still get married, live a life of leisure, and remain child free. I mean, that's perfect.
A perfect scenario that rarely happens. That life is leisure. I wish I had the numbers on it, but realistically, what it's like. But the men that are able to provide you a life of leisure where you don't have to work. Like, let's stratify the conversation, right? I said before on a previous video, if you want to be a stay-at-home, wife, girlfriend, whatever, that there is an income bracket, right, where that needs to be achieved, where it makes sense, kind of how they picture it, because I know plenty of people who have stay-at-home wives that just make six figures, make less than six figures, and it all becomes now to if I make $75,000 a year, you can be a stay-at-home wife, but here's the umbrella in which you have to operate under the $75,000 one. So the things that we can do and can't do are dictated by the umbrella. You may want to be a stay-at-home wife, but in your mind, you're picturing because this is what social media makes you think that this is now a life of luxury, vacations, right? Jewelry, expensive trips, expensive clothing. No, for you getting to stay home, we now save money, say with childcare, but a bulk of that labor is on you. It's a team thing. But we think a life of luxury is synonymous with stay at home wife. No, there's still a lot of work that has to be done because it's under that umbrella. Now, the way you're picturing it, you want to be a stay at home wife and then you want to have a leisurely type of like lifestyle, right? Well, now instead of it being $100,000 conversation, it's probably a $300,000 conversation. And then the men that can provide that become even more stratified. If 8% of black men in the United States make $100,000, now you've tripled that. What's that number? Now, do you have access to those people that can give you that lifestyle? Let's say you do. Are you exactly what they're looking for? Because I know you're here simply for what I can provide you. You have to be to the T what I want. To the T, because I understand that the buying and purchasing power lies with me. You can't meet those, then nothing else really matters. Back to the point at hand. Being a single mom, I think social media and people that are doing it on their own will tell you how difficult it is. Right? This next video will show exactly what I'm talking about.
I know I look crazy, y'all, but I'm dead one day away from a mental breakdown as a single parent. Yes, I chose to have my kids. Yes, I chose to keep them, but I did not lay down and make them by myself. Yeah, I have all the responsibility. by myself. And that's okay. I wear my mother crown. Like, I wear it. I do my big one. I do what I can. But when I tell y'all I'm tired of the struggle, I'm tired. Like,
This is more realistic, right? And we have to get back to looking at things as what is, more probable for it to happen. If you want to say, yeah, being a single woman is it's that's the thing. That's the next boss move. But we know if people adhere to something like that, we know a life of difficulty. Even if you consider that, yeah, society does give women that are single moms a harder time. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. That's what's happening right now. Yes, I know a bunch of you that are bossing it up, that are doing it great, struggling, admittingly that it's difficult, but you're making the best of the situation. But let's just kind of be honest with each other. Going off and trying to, glorify, people are going to take that message, they're going to run with it, and they think that it's not a problem. Let's just be fair and give people the best shot at it. I don't think people go forward and say, yeah, I just want to do this by myself. But if you do, I'm sure that happens, have the resources to make that happen, right? To make it make sense. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do all that great YouTube stuff. I'll see you in the next one.